It seems fine. Oh, there we go. Alright. It's been a hot minute. I don't even know what's happening with these anymore. Chibi, Blood Moon, Briar. That's kind of neat. Whoa. Whoa. That's cool. Damn. What's the Star Atlas? Personal map, all champs and traits you played along your Space Scouts adventure. Ah. This might actually be helpful because I don't even know what the champions are. Or the synergies. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hopefully I'm just like in bronze or something for now. What is this? Choose your god wisely. Thresh offers randomness. Echo offers flashbacks.
Tomorrow's the last of my worries.
I mean, well, Echo just sounds better in a game like TFT. I don't know what flashbacks means though. Oh, cool. It's 3 times per game. Choose between 2 gods. At 4/7 at 5+. Your favorite god's grants or boosts. So not for a while. Also, the lower your placement, the better your worth from Pengu. Conduit mode gains conduit trait, challenger trait, replicator trait. So this is because
even gravity can't slow me down.
I don't know what each trait does. Conduit trait. This is some version of Invoker. Challenger's probably attack speed. I don't know what replicator is. What do you value sell it? Okay, it looks like. Okay. Here? Too much. So Choga. Stargazer.
Even gravity can't slow me down.
Find our 3 costs. Talon.
Let's finish this
Talons.
quickly.
I assume your frontline unit. Conduit sounds complicated. We're probably not going to play it for now. Then you're probably a frontline unit. Let's see, what's Stargazer? Stargazer should chart a different constellation every game. This game is the stop. Well, that's complicated. Allies in powered hexes heal 1% every 2 seconds. Stargazers in powered hexes heal an additional 2.5%.
Pathetic.
Gain additional. So this is a splash. Okay. After you earn 50 gold in interest, gain 25 gold. Your max interest is increased 7, gain 4 gold now. That might be good, just because I don't have to know too much about it for the moment. Every 10 seconds after combat, sponsor survives. 2 tanky. 2 copies of champion. No, not this one. Okay, let's go with the interest one for now, because it's simple.
Don't
Talon.
cross.
What else is Talon? He's a rogue. Do I have anything else? Bastion. 2 Chos. I don't think that's gonna come into play. Stargazer, Rogue, Meeple. Here, Meeple. We need 3 Meeples, so. That's fine. Let's get Econ. Okay, this is not a carry. What's Meep? Meep will attract Meeps that empower Meeple abilities and Meep abilities. They can also gain bonus health. So I guess it's 2 Meeps and 100 HP. So this is a good vertical comp, I think. Bastion. Did I take out my... Yeah, I took out Bastion. God dang it. I don't have time to read what people do. People. I should put in Bastion though. You're backline, right? Yeah. I have these items. Actually, Sunfire's good. I don't want to bleed too much. We're still on Poppy for now. Technically, I can put in a 3rd Meeple next round. Bastions. Let's see. Team gets armor and magic resist, but also Bastions gain more. Replicator, multicast, Rogue, AD, and AP. The first time they fall below 50% health, they slip into shadows. Enemies targeting them are redirected to nearby units. Oh, interesting. They're dodge tanks. Back row. Narcissus. Sniper Meeple. Okay. We'll see if we can do vertical Meeples this game, and so we can read a bunch of units. Let's put Nara in the back row. It gives us starting Meeple. Alright, let's read some of these units. Meeple Replicator. So probably want to splash Replicator at some point.
Let's finish this quickly.
Okay. So you call down a meteor, does a lot of freaking damage. An additional 4 mini meteors are called down. Interesting. Scaling with Meeples. On target dealing 47 magic damage each. Well, that's not a lot, but it's 2 per Meeple. The Modus Meteor thing. After every 5th attack, launch a returning boomerang, 2 active pass for sending hits. Reduce sending over 2 Meeples, 1 7 magic healing. I guess they're 1 and 2 cost units. Are we really gonna win? Whoops. So much for streaking. Random boon. Your XP round will replace the Scuttle Crab and bonus loot. Gain a random boon from any god and 2 gold. This is probably
my house, my rules.
Space Group Bastion, 3 cost Orn. Nova Brawler. They gotta get a component. Well, I guess this is probably good because I actually am running some Bastions. I don't know if that's the item I need though. I probably don't need another giant spell. Got a recurve bow. Bastion. Oh, wait, I don't have Bastion in. Because Jax was the Bastion. It was Stargazer Bastion. Dang it. Who else is Meeple? You're Meeple does. We're definitely playing some other Bastion. And you get... let's see, Steadfast. Gain 400 shield, 4 seconds. Duration, allies protection gain. Oh, armor. Leaps grant 125 shields and 2 allies. Interesting. Level 7 moves create a cloning slot on your bench. Gain a gold and a 1-star copy of the champion placed there when cloning completes. Okay. Probably not an every round thing. 10, I assume I need a few emblems. It looks like there are 8 base ones. You need 2 emblems for 10 people. And you also need to be level 10. Do I just want to level here? No, I think I actually just want to farm gold as fast as possible. Base Crew Vanguard. Meeple Voyager. Wait a minute. We'll sell Vigar if we win. Otherwise, I'll buy XP. Meeple Vanguard. They do not champions now. This is Daisy. Heal, health, slam target, knocking up. Interesting. Mute bonus. Mute for water meets these flower, increasing all incoming healing and shield. That's interesting. This guy's pretty working. That makes sense. I think I'm eating too much damage. I actually don't know what my carries are. Probably not Remus. Wait, that's Bastion. Meeple. I have 2 forecast options. What are that? Is that Bard? Maybe Bard's my carry? Okay, so this is golems, I guess. We lost. I was gonna put a level. God damn it. Okay. I need to have something in here. Like, I feel like I should at least have Replicator in early. Hopefully we get some gold here. I don't know if I don't know what items Bard builds. Or got. Okay. No. Let's go ahead and take that level. Let's get Warning. Then this is probably okay to slam some items on. We'll just slam an Asher's because we don't have anything else. It looks like we have no AP items. Well, actually, I'm about to keep them. I'm just gonna guess Bard's a caster. But I have no idea. There's only 2 rods. What are you? Oh, this is our Meeple Rogue. Okay, actually, this probably needs to go in too. We'll get a lot of gold here. That's fine. We can probably put it next time. Magic Assassin. So Meeple Rogue is kind of a natural combo. And Rogue actually just goes up one at a time. I wonder if Fizz is actually the Meeple carry. Or maybe that's like the early mid-Meeple carry. Okay, Prismatic Team, 25%, and Precision. Ability damage can critically strike. Interesting. No. No. Oh. I think Jeweled Lotus is pretty good here. Okay, send in Fizz. I don't know how to position frontline units. I know there's... pretty sure there's a science to it, but I don't know what it is. Even though I'm going 7 people, I gotta figure out how else I'm rounding out the comp. I don't know what Bard's other trait is. Maybe I could look in the team planner. Let's see. Oh, it's fucking Fate Weaver. I don't know what Fate Weaver is. Is that a Fate Weaver I can buy real quick? I can buy it. Yeah. What's Fate Weaver? Okay, so I only want 2 of them anyways. Chance effect on abilities are lucky. Fate Weavers have precision innate. I was buying mage items. Maybe I shouldn't have been. Nice, level 2. Dark Sword Voyager I don't think does anything for me. Fifth Meeple. I wonder if that's actually more valuable. Wait, what are you? You're nothing. Wait, what? Why do I even have you in? 5 Meeple should be a good upgrade. You're actually frontline. Dash to the current target. Third castle summons Mega Meep. Target Warner Team. No, you're a carry. I wonder if Orange is taking the front line for now. Probably just a different high cost fashion later when I get the chance. Like that's like Shen right there. Oh my lord. Well that Fizz? I wonder if Fizz is actually the carry of this comp. He only needs 7 units. He's a 3 cost. Seems pretty good. You get haste or something on him. Let's see. I chose my god as Pike, but I keep going with this guy. I actually think I'm gonna need BF swords if Corky is some sort of crate user. Well, actually, I should have got the gauntlet. That would have made more sense. Enemy Vanguard Shepherd. What am I going to put in? This is fine, I guess. Did I have anything to throw in? Oh, one space groove actually does do something. What does it do? Groovians can enter the groove. While in it, they gain attack speed and max health regen. Oh, put an item on my line. I don't know what I have that would have done that. I still need 4 more turns to keep my interest. I'm winning a lot now though, so maybe it's not that big a deal. Oh right, my max interest is 7. That was I've actually been wasting money. I'm a dummy. What happened? I don't know why I have this dummy. Oh, receive training dummy, mystery loot. Why does Ornn build items? On each touch, forge a temporary completed item. If 3 items are already equipped, a random item is created. Oh, interesting. What are the meeples I'm missing? My 4 cost is 5 cost. 5 cost is fun, 4 cost is fun. Who do I end up replacing? Probably Vigar almost certainly. I don't know what Remus is. I assume Vigar's DPSing for the moment. Come on, cast. That's fine though. I forgot to generate more gold with my extra interest. This is fine. This is fine. Oh, yeah, I see. Redeemer. This is interesting.
Yes.
For each non-unique trait that you have active, your team gains 2%, 2.5% non-unique.
One jump ahead of you.
So what, they just randomly fit into vertical comp?
That's a woman.
Almost there. One more round. If I just remembered the econ. You're a replicator. So that's gonna make Vigar way stronger for now. I should have done that way sooner. I probably had a million chances. What does Shepherd do? Summon Bia, summon Bia and bond grows deeper. Summon the Bond of Stars. Is that gonna be like Cosmic Fountain's Isle? Grace Black Hole. That consumes. So this is a Storm or whatever. Let's see. No game, attack damage. Blade. Your King's game is shield. And allies gain damage now. That's a good splash too. Are you with Splashy Voyager? Who's my Splashy Voyager on? My Meep guy. Interesting. Well, I already have a training dummy, so maybe this it sounds kind of good. A champ dies? No. I don't like Pandora's items, at least not for now, because I don't even know what I'm doing. So should I mean, they don't have to be frontline, right? Because they're going to launch at the back line, theoretically.
Now this I like.
I do need something to add.
I'm ready.
Stargazer card. Okay, looking for a 4 cost.
I never rest. I'm ready.
I'm looking for both 4 cost units and I didn't hit any of them. I didn't roll that much though, I guess. Lot to learn at the moment. I forgot how much reading it took the first time around. I got tons of items and I'm still winning. I can just tell I'm in a bit of a low lobby, I guess. I need to look at my dummies next time. I mean, even for me, it's not like I'm a actual good player or anything. My armor's already 3-star. I don't know why I'm buying them. Really none. I just want 1, right? Because I want to see what my Corky does. Oh, what do you do? I'm gonna keep up my interest for now. I don't actually think I have a reason to roll down or anything. For the most part, 7 meep should be fine. I wonder if I can get this on the back line somehow. I guess right now frontline cast means are not as stinky. My Vanguard is still pumping. Kind of seems okay for me. I don't know. I bet everyone's just gonna weak right now. Well, not that guy. I should get a crossbow. Oh. Mystery loot. Permanently increase champion's attack speed. Oh no.
Oh, the eternity we shall spend together.
I want this. I wonder if Ross is good. They gave him a really cool splash in this game. Ross looks so cool. Okay, so there's our Corky. What does Corky build? Attack caster. Interesting. So he wants blue. I don't have any tiers. I don't have that either. I can build him an Infinity Edge. What else? And does he use any rods? He doesn't want any rods. I still haven't found Ramus yet either. What else is Vanguard? Vanguard's actually been doing okay. This is Crown Guard. And this is what damage does Corky do? Strict nearby position, 21 missiles between the targets, taking 2 hexes, and firing a mega missile. Interesting. That's an explosive meep at the target. Okay, Karkagi came in and top damage instantly. We should focus on that, I guess. But he's all physical damage. Arc Lady Voyager. Oh. Innate conduits gain 20% additional mana from all sources. Wow, what are you, magic caster? Okay, what am I doing here? I think this bard should go in. Definitely at least over this Gnar. What do you like? You do like a Rabadon. Can I give you anything else? Not really. I've got tons of these anyways. Those barges. I'm a flying saucer. Oh, that's what he does. Over the target, 4 seconds. Each second deals over the target plus 209 to the 1 hex. Also deal 30% increased damage to tanks. Interesting. I don't even notice the dude's like class stuff. I don't really remember having like class specific things.
So many flavors.
Precious Boons. Each round, roll a die, gain a bonus based on that roll. I actually do really need a tier. We'll probably just go next one that has a tier. Yeah, that's fine. Light round tier is good. Let's go to this. I'm gonna have that at some point. Can I find a Rammus? There we go. And he's a Bastion. So we can drop this and gain 7 people. Put you in. You're the duplicator square. I don't know who we have any business duplicating, to be honest. Can I just find a Corki real quick? Guess it's fine. So now, create a cloning funnel. Yeah, that's the only thing we got. Besides extra moves. I just don't feel the need to roll quite yet. Action Replicator. Shepherd potentially we could put in. We put a 5 or 4 cost Shepherd. Because I don't think we're going over 7 because you need augments or something for that. You need to make the meeple, whatever they're called, emblems. Oh. Got him. I think it was Sundra. I'd also be done to replace the replicator. I'm not even using anything. We're never using this Gnar, right? I just like lost gold. That's good. What do you even do? Gain a big shield, of course. All things do that, I guess. Scales with resistances. Reduce damage of incoming attacks based on the number of meeps. And reflect damage. Also does some meep stuff.
Soak it up.
Nami. Okay, this is probably better, right? Plus a disco bubble, the 1 hex, brings it 3 blobs, and it's space creep. Basically, with a combo with 1 to an extent as well. I think this is just our meat comp. This is pretty much locked in. Unless we get an emblem. Okay. We need to get stronger, I think. We're going to 9 to get stronger. Maybe. Let's crank, Marauder. Oh, here's the shot.
You cannot hide from me.
And a Bastion? We're not going to Bastion. This is important. Try just level. To be honest. Tell you. Oh, well, we'll sell you anyway. Can we win? That'd be preferable. I don't think we can win. Okay. Top 4. Oh. I was like, is it over? It's not over. It just is a little thing.
Yakama.
I don't need this. What else do you use? Is that right? No, not really. Frick, I messed up. Not paying attention? I'm so rusty. It's the one I can win. Okay, still alive. It wasn't a player, I don't think. Okay, I want to put in... I don't know what you are. You're, I guess, some extra frontline unit. Ramus scales with this, right? So we'll just slap another one on Ramus. Also need to 3-star my Corki. Pretty bad though. Eradicator, Doomer. You're a shot.
I am in control.
I guess probably put Sona in instead.
Pure psychic energy.
Trader. Pretty money, or pretty okay. There's something easier than me. Factory new. But if you think open an inventory first component upgrade for your strongest break. Kind of like an early 5-cost thing you can do. I think 2-star in Corki was big. Oh, but I lost. Oof. I guess top 40 our first time back is not too bad. I got to do a lot of reading that game, I guess. Oh, interesting. Portals. It's neat, I guess. Oh man. Alright, well, let's see. This thing should update it, right? So that was Meep's comp. I wonder what else we should try next. Meeps definitely seems something that's easy to just end up defaulting to. It actually seems really flexible. As long as you're not overly contested on it. You know, it looks like you could play 7 decently on a reroll. Like you could play Fizz and maybe like Ornn, like Fizz Ornn or some junk like that. Or you could play to 7 Meeps and Econ into 5 costs, potentially 10 Meeps if you have the right emblems. Maybe 7 Meeps isn't good. I think the cloning bench is weird unless you get it early enough. You have to have a 4 cost, I think, on 7, which is kind of fine. But I guess it means you're not playing Ornn until... or you'd have to play... You want to splash a Rogue or something for Fizz. Maybe it's not a good 7. Because you kind of want to play Rogue for Fizz. So you play it on 5 Meeps. Yeah, well, if you play it on 5 Meeps. Yeah, you forget the cloning bench. You just play 5 Meeps. And then you can play like an Ornn and then whatever rogue fits. Talon early. I don't know what other rogues there are. Fizz looks like he can carry a game, though. Or at least, you know, a lot of people probably have a bad enough positioning, like me, that if you have some sort of assassin character, that I could probably cheese my way up a few ranks. TFT times are kind of long.
I offer many paths to tranquility.
We have Ari Yasuo.
I will follow this path.
Man, these are gonna
until
hit
the
every
end.
time, and so is Stargazer. Did I even choose one? Okay. It's interesting. Darkstar. I'm kind of down to try Darkstar. That sounds cool. Creates a black hole. There's not a ton of Darkstar units. Darkstars create black hole, gain AD and AP, so they're good with brawl stat stacking. And the strongest Darkstar unit goes super massive, gaining 85% effectiveness from Darkstar and create 2 minor black holes. That sounds super epic, actually. You can't get 9 without a bunch of emblems, but I just think this sounds kind of cool. And we already know that we can replicate with Vygar early. We own Lysandra. That's another replicator. So
Your time has passed.
So we'll buy you. Let's loot the dude. Replicator Stargazer. This is him with a mountain. Or you can stack emblems. And you just gain a bunch of stats for, I guess, going vertical on mountain. It's interesting. I keep saying that. Sounds so stupid. Multiple replicator early? We have the 3 costs already. Maybe I could stack like 3 Darkstar and 4 replicator. And play like a Lysandra. Gain a random component every 22, I don't know. No. Allies. That's good early. Every 4 attacks an ally takes. No. Any laning turns makeshift arc. Gain a tier. Your team gains 1 mana regen. After 12 seconds combat, this increases to 3. I kind of like the sound of that. I think this is good, especially if I'm maybe doing something later. We have Darkstar in. What do you want? Shiv is just still played this Void Staff. What else? Any more arrows early? You even have an AoE? What is this?
Meet your fate.
Oh, you're not what I thought you were. You're conduit, which is also good. Splash, flash, 2 replicator, conduit. I don't know. Well, kinda. For 5 seconds. Oh. I feel like it'd be cool to run 4 replicator. I should be able to. I just needed one more. I have a lot of gold on my bench right now. I'll sell those 2 if I win. What was the items?
Kiss, kiss.
Fine. Mini gun. I'm running this thing. What's the other early conduit I can get? Zoe. Four free rerolls. Cosmic Hex. Place the Hex on a champion allies. In the Hex, gain 10% max health and 35% permanent health each round. I'm down for rerolls, to be honest. Well, the Mordekaiser is pretty good.
There is mischief in the stars. Also gas clouds. They smell like farts.
You conduit. Something like this. So she'll just gain mana regen. Can I get another Lysandra actually?
There is mischief in the stars. Also gas clouds. They smell like farts.
Whoa.
Space fight!
What is a Voyager? And Mecha? What's Mecha? Innate Mecha units can transform into their ultimate form. Upgrading their abilities and gaining 40% health, transform mechas take up to 2 team slots and count twice for the mecha trait. I wonder how you do that. That sounds pretty cool.
There's another reality inside all of us.
Look at the mechas. Oh. Wow. That's kind of cool though. Then Goddess choose trait. So interesting. I just don't think we're ever running you, to be honest. I guess I could have just held it. Kind of sad about not getting this Sandra. Other people might be running it. I haven't been scouting at all. So I'm too busy trying to figure out what everything does. What's Nova?
Let's go.
And Marauder. 6 items in combat. Nova grants a power surge allies based on chance. Collecting. Gaining precision sounds good. Gain a striker selector. The chosen Nova activates her strike during power surge. Mecha. Mecha comp might be cool. I always like those. Marauders, Omnivamp, and AD. We still didn't find an extra Lysandra, so I think we're just gonna econ and not stay here for too long. I don't know what I'm gonna transition into, I guess. Just see what I pick up. I don't think going Mecha would have done much, though. Blade sounds good. I always like that item. Well, we're not going into the thing that we played already. Vanguard Arbiter, no. One for the Lysandra.
Paradigm shift time!
That's Lysandra. It's fine. We slammed items. We'll win, right? People have a lot of Lysandra. So this guy's going Dark Star and has a Kaisa. He has some Dark Star. What is this? Fate Weaver Nova? Mix of stuff. Shepherd. Yeah, so we'll definitely not play this Dark Star too much, I don't think. We technically could split it. But we have like Replicator stuff, Conduit stuff. Maybe I could have just played Conduit Mech, I guess. This A-Soul champion is a Conduit. Could have been interesting. I have no idea. 2 random emblems. It might be too complicated for me right now. Allies heal. I don't know if I have tons of healing. Tons of stats. That's easy at least. I'm really high health actually. It doesn't tons of gold just scale health really well. If I'm just econing right now. I think that's really good. And then I'll pre-level. I guess I could just do it now. I'm not rolling here. I just don't know what direction my comp is going in. I also don't have much of a frontline filament. I have 3 Dark Stars right now. It is pretty hard to the excuse me. Other first place guy. That's fine. We just hit econ. Wow, I lost a lot of HP there. That's pretty uncool actually. He's very strong. Finally getting this is good. Good roll. I just don't know what to put in. You're a replicator. There are a few good replicator stuff. I think you can choose Misfortune to become a conduit, come to think of it. So maybe there's some cool conduit thing we can do here. Where we can splash Darkstar for the front line. Yeah, okay. You can like have you for Replicator and Darkstar. And then your conduit Darkstar Vanguard. So we'd want another Vanguard as our front line.
Kiss, kiss.
We're starting to look really weak. Okay, with Conduit and with Crimea River, I'll probably not want to overbuy mana and tears. I probably mostly need stats.
At peace with yourself? You will be.
Timebreaker Rogue.
The
I'm gonna
time
read
for
you.
talk is over.
Stargazer Sniper. W passive. Bounce 3 times. Okay. Standard 80 carry affair. I need to be stronger, to be honest. Okay, this looks good. What's Timebreaker? 15% attack speed, and when you lose, gain free rerolls. And average rain additional 50%. That's kind of weird. Rogue. This RD non-unique trait I have active. What is unique? It's not a unique trait. It's every same trait has. Nars hitting my Lysandra. Probably not vulnerable. Free cost no item is real.
Delightify!
I think I need something to put in.
My
Okay.
god doesn't
I don't
want
have to do all my
peace.
rolls right now. What else did I say I wanted? Conduits are mostly high cost. I'm definitely not looking to run all of them. And I need frontline. What's my other Vanguard options? 4 and 5 cost, so maybe Lally is the best I can get for the moment. Conduits and Vanguards. What do Vanguards give? Max health. Their health stacker. So they probably need some... Oh, I don't have any health, man. Got all these like 80 carry items.
My god doesn't want peace.
I think I'm just gonna lose for 2 rounds. And then level and look for things. Arbiter. I need to choose an effect. Applied arbiters when a chosen cause occurs. Okay. I can't even do with these. I feel like nothing on red buff. Max Whisper. I guess maybe Titan Resolve is okay. Get 2% stats. I didn't even lose. For needlessly large rods. You know, maybe that's actually really good. Gain 7 gold now and every round for the rest of the game. No. 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 I just like this, I think. I could be able to get them all right now, actually. Stargazer Vanguard.
Go!
I'm gonna put you in. And hold. Oh, they opened up a second row. you can play the game now. I still don't know. I think I'm just gonna hold on. I'm just gonna use 2 of these bows and then just reforge. Yeah, sure. There we go. That'll make this a little bit cleaner, and then we can tighten. If one of these is tightened to gold. Don't ask me why I'm doing it beforehand. But I think these are gonna end up being nice. You need like 2 red ones. I only lost once. Okay. Ah, no, let's just do it. Okay. Where are the units looking for?
I'm gonna
You
clean
want
this
you
galaxy from the inside out.
in conduit mode.
Here we go!
Damn.
Here we go!
I almost kind of forgot. Wait, who the frick are we carrying? Don't we want the 4-cost combo? We want Ace. We didn't find Ace.
Heads up, Buttercup.
We also have 1 too many Dark Stars and 1 too many Vanguards. Does that mean, I think that means that... What's your face called? Who's our other Dark Star unit that we have in? Oh, Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath is completely useless. You just go to 4 Vanguard. No.
I offer relief from pain.
We do actually want a health item. That might just be too bad to recover this.
Let's get in there and block some stuff.
So, you need to come out. We really need to find Acel. There we go.
Melt.
He's also a mecha. Interesting. How do I make him mega? Yeah, I should look at his items. He wants one of these. I think he wants a jack shield. I don't think he needs the buff, right? With you're a cat caster, so like shaking. I don't know. Okay. Okay. We got the HP at least. So wait, this is how we make the mecha? We're gonna want to make the mecha, but we're gonna have to hit 9, I think, to make this guy a mecha. Oh, no. Drop you? What are you putting in? Nothing.
Plenty more to come.
He's a spaceship now? Question mark? Then Bard's 5-cost into it, so maybe next level he'll go in. If we get that far. We should just have another item on you, shouldn't we? I already have Marley. Okay, well, we're starting to beat some of the lower people now, so... Calculated. Our Lysandra's still doing a lot of our damage right now. She's got 3 items plus replicator, though, so it kind of makes sense.
Relax a little.
2% per level. Gain 2% XP for the rest of the game. I guess I'd want these fortune items. She wants an IE. Can I find her an IE? I don't have that much gold, though. I think I definitely don't want that. Oh, I'll just take this. This is not what I thought it was gonna be. Oh frick, this actually just sucks. What am I doing with this? Let me what you do. Have flyer on the battlefield, immune to crowd control every 0.75 seconds, gain hits based on attack speed mana. Interesting. Overdrive for 3 seconds. Overdrive 3 times as many fighters, ignore 30% of magic resistance. Well, he's just getting completely obliterated. He's not tanky at all. And no one... He can't... How do you even tank for an Acel if he's flying around? I really messed up. It's based on attack speed. Okay, hold on. Let me read you your items real quick. And this. And then you can have Rabadons. Is Lulu... Who's next in doing things? What do you do? Slap Rabadons on you. This'll have to do, right? I think we still go you this way. I don't even know. I don't even know. I think this item is a little bit better.
What's up, Buttercup?
The frontline's dying incredibly fast. This is really not good. I think my frontline might be just too bad, actually. Maybe next game I try a mecha build. That actually just sounds fun. Oh, I top forward. Okay. I'm not gonna know the level. I just hit a roll.
Melt.
Here we go! Soak it up.
We found 2 aces. I wasn't really looking for misfortunes, but I mean, I theoretically should have been. Maybe level 2 Acel will keep us in there, but we just snuck in over the rest of the Inthers. I think the rest of the lobby might be too strong for me. I don't even know what he gets for being in Wing Gundam mode. Maybe this just isn't his normal ability. Oh, we did win. He did a lot of damage.
Another reality inside all of us. Maybe not you, though.
Let's make this memorable.
We did win. Attack caster. Is misfortune our next person? Right? We want a tank item, right? Well, they get stuff based on their max HP, I think, actually. I could buy Mighty Mech. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of figured I wasn't online enough. Not amazing. 2 forced in my placements. Man. I'm just bad. Happens. Maybe I'll take a break for a second to do this react. I'm getting so much stuff. Okay, we're good. Alright, let's see. I caught this video from Coach Rogue and I recommended, and I've definitely seen some good and some less good stuff from Coach Rogue. Like, I thought his videos on timers and stuff was really awesome, but I thought his video... Wait, I think he's the one that did the Otacon video. Well, I didn't really like the Otacon video, but I actually don't remember if he's the one that did it. I digress. Here we're going to react to Coach Rogue's core item build video. See how that goes. Sounded bad. Well, losing it today. All right, we're gonna check out his core item build. We're gonna check out his core items build video. What is going on? Huh, it says my audio is... Okay, I think I'm overthinking it. It's probably fine. I saw this video from Coach Rogue. He's definitely put out some awesome videos before. Damn. I saw this video from Coach Rogue. He's put out some awesome videos before. I feel like it's timers videos where he talks about like the 530 wave and level 6 jungle timers and all this type of stuff. And I thought it was very good. Let's see what he says about core item builds.
Have you ever noticed that tons of different champions most often end up building the same core 2 to 3 items as one another before they're able to show any variance at all in their item build? Well, sure. That's for good reason. Core item builds are one of the most important things you need to know, since you can hit some pretty insane power spikes if you get the right item synergies going. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can make an itemization mistake, just like this Jarvan did, that is going to delay your multiplicative scalings and leave you far weaker than you should be. But of course, Riot didn't make everything simple now, did they? And so there are of course some hidden mechanics on how stats interact and scale with one another that you need to know in order to understand how certain core item builds work.
Yeah, so core item builds are extremely weird because a lot of them are actually really champion specific. Like, certain champions are really good with Sheen procs, and certain champions, are really strong if you get just a certain number of items, period. Like, Aurora's kind of weird. It's like, she can pretty much build any first item, and then she goes Shadow Flame Void Staff, and she one-shots everything. And then, yeah, what he's showing on screen right now, he's showing the percentage pen items in relation to the flat pen items, essentially, which you need to know how these work in order to, like, really properly understand how to get maximum value out of them. Because I do believe that he'll probably say it. I'm pretty sure that the percentage pen applies first, and then the flat pen applies. But let's see. He'll tell us.
So let's learn everything there is to know on the subject, from how to choose the correct core item set to go for how to get the most out of them.
I mean, you don't really have to choose what core item set to go for in this day and age. Like, you could pretty much just look up anywhere, op.gg, Lolalytics, Coachless, and you could find out what people are building as core items almost every game. There are some games, like, it's kind of faded out now, but you can see that he's got the lethality Jarvan build versus the Bruiser Jarvan build. It's just like, it really just depends on what targets you're hitting, but even then, it's not that hard to figure out. It's like, can I do damage? Can I carry this game on Jarvan? Am I just playing frontline Bruiser? Like, this is a very common thing.
Choose the correct core item set to go for how to get the most out of them, the hidden effects working in the background of some, and how with the right knowledge you can optimize those core items to get some of the biggest mid to late game power spikes you can possibly get. Now I'm going to give a quick update on...
Yeah, I would just like to point out that, I don't think this. I think even Alois himself has said that this is not the optimal Mundo build, and I think he's done this on multiple different kinds of Mundo's builds as well. I don't think this really has anything to do with the core items. It's just, the scaling of the champion.
Of the biggest mid to late game power spikes you can possibly get. Now I'm going to give a quick update on my support and mid lane guides. Since their creation, I've added another 5 videos to each, meaning they both have over 2 hours worth of content within them, with plans to add even more. The idea within these guides is that each video is its own standalone coaching session for you, focusing on giving you about 3 practice goals that you can use for your games going forward. The idea is that you'll watch video 1, go play a bunch of games to practice what you learned in the video, then you can revisit the guide and have your second coaching session when you're ready, and then repeat. I'm a little biased, obviously, since I made them, but
This is just my experience, but I have found that I generally play better in my games almost immediately if I have a specific goal of something I'm trying to improve in mind. So I think probably what he's saying is true, that if he's just giving you something to work on and explaining you specifically why you're working on it and how to work on it, that probably actually is pretty valuable. Just my thoughts.
Opinion is that these role-specific video guides are the best value coaching you can get, so check them out over at coachrogue.com, which I'll leave a link to in the video description.
My name's Rogue, and I played League of Legends professionally for 7 years. Now I'm a full-time content creator and coach for all ranks, Iron through to Challenger. So if you want more information of what a coaching session with me will look like, you can find more information by following the link in the video description.
What region he played in.
The secret to understanding how most core item builds work is realizing that they boil down to basically 1 or 2 key items that you're trying to maximize the effect of, and everything else that you're building exists to simply enable. The obvious example of this that you probably already understand is the item Infinity Edge. Now, Infinity Edge amplifies the damage that your crits deal, but this passive only becomes gold efficient when you reach a 75% critical strike chance.
This is certainly one way to look at it, and he's using Infinity Edge as like the general example. There's other champions where you can get value out of it sooner. Jhin automatically crits on his 4th shot, so it's like you can get value out of potentially building this item sooner. But I think there's some builds like this doesn't really, looking at it from this way, it's hard to think about. Like if you think about Guinsoo's as an item, it itself doesn't pump out a ton of damage. It enhances the on-hit damages that exist either within your kit or that you're getting from like Bork or Terminus or things like this. So I don't think this is like a universal way to look at builds. Maybe it simplifies a lot of them.
So you must first build 2 crit items first, before you can buy that Infinity Edge. With this in mind, you generally wouldn't buy a first or second item that doesn't give critical strike chance then, as doing so would obviously significantly delay the ability to buy your Infinity Edge, which is a crit AD's most significant power spike. Now, let's take that logic you already understand with the item Infinity Edge and apply it to every other archetype of champion in the game and whatever core item they're building towards, and you'll be...
I love how I say you probably can't really apply this to everything, and then he's like, alright, now let's apply it to every other champ.
Begin to see why this Jarvan build that I hinted at the intro isn't so good. Now, Jarvan has a few core item builds here.
Death Dance is a weird item. It really scales well with health and shielding. Or you'll see, I think Alois was showing Box Riven build pretty recently, where he was going Axiom Arc and Fiendish Bolts into Death Dance. And the idea with that build was you just heal a lot because you do so much damage that you'll just one-shot somebody with your R and your automatic crit autos, and then you get the healing from Death Dance, and it just kind of lets you live long enough in order to pull off that one-shot. So those are the kind of builds that item generally works well with. Here you have Cleaver. You have Eclipse, which kind of works well with Death Dance, but because it has the burst damage and it has shielding, but it is weird to go Cleaver because that's really meant for extended fights. You're stacking this, you're shredding for your ADs, and you're frontlining for them. It's got health and not as much AD. It's got haste and stuff on it too.
You can opt for, mainly Lethality or Bruiser, but this Jarvan player is playing against a mostly physical damage enemy team comp with high burst damage on Graves, Vi.
So yeah, I generally don't love Death Dance with the Cleaver build. If you have like Sundered Sky and you have the Sterix and then you have a Death Dance, I think that's fine. Sometimes you need a Cleaver and maybe Death Dance is especially good in the game and it's fine. It's not like it's trolled to build the items together. I think they generally don't fit together in the same build.
Mel, as well as some unavoidable crowd control on Poppy and Vi. When versing an enemy team composition that has unavoidable crowd control, you generally want to opt for a tankier build, as it gives you some room for error in case you get hit by CC in a team fight so you don't get one shot. And since most of the enemy team comp does physical damage, we can easily itemize armor, so our Jarvan should probably opt for a Bruiser tank build. Now, Jarvan's Bruiser build revolves around two core items, Sterix and Death Stance. Sterix Gauge gives bonus AD based on your champion's base attack damage. Since we gain attack damage passively through level ups, it's nice to allow ourselves to level up a bit before we buy this item, so the passive is doing a little bit more. It also has a second lifeline passive, which gives you a massive shield when you're low on health.
Yeah, and it's based on your bonus health. So another reason you might want to buy it later is so you can get more bonus health. Bonus health generally comes from items, or I think maybe like certain passives give bonus health. But yeah, it's really hard to get any value out of building a Sterix early because the passives just aren't going to give as much value as they are later on. You'll just get more items. I mean, Sundered Sky is just broken too. It's like there's very few items that you're going to get more value off on first item than something like a Sundered Sky, especially if you're good at the game. Like that that item scales so hard with player skill. Getting your procs, playing in and out of combat, these things make this item just like go through the roof.
But the size of this shield also scales with bonus health, meaning in the same way that you need to get a good foundation of crit before building Infinity Edge, you need to get a good foundation of health items before buying a Sterix Gauge. But our Jarvan built an item first that doesn't give any health. A better core item build would be to look for something like this. We first build 2 health items, likely Sundered Sky into Black Cleaver. This gives us enough health to unlock the full potential of Sterix Gauge 2 passives that scale off health. So now we can hit our first power spike at 3 items. Then we hit our major power spike on 4 items upon completing the item Death Stance. The synergy of this build is that everything centers around that Sterix Gauge. The first 2 items give you health, increasing the effect of its passive and making it give a big shield.
Having a cleaver on a Death Stance is a bit of a different story if you have the Sundered Sky and the Sterix Gauge as well. You have a lot more sustain in your build, so I appreciate it a lot more. There's also, you have the shielding on the W on Jarvan, so kind of synergizes there as well. But Eclipse is just a weird item on some champions. I pretty much think you shouldn't be building them, or at least that they're overbuilt on champions like Xin Zhao and Jarvan, where they really have just modes that they can go into, and you should be indexing into one or the other. Where like Eclipse is never pretty much going to make the difference between you one-shotting something or being able to fight something on Jarvan that you couldn't before. You have a lot of like flat and base damages. So either you have the sustain so you can keep it a fight and your damage will be enough to kill somebody, or you go the lethality build, you can one-shot squishies. And then I don't think Eclipse is some in-between sustain fighter item that makes Jarvan a better mid-range champ. Like, I just don't think that's a thing. I don't think it's a real item.
That big shield procs keeping you alive in a teamfight for long enough in order to get a kill and to proc the Death's Dance passive. That will remove a significant part of the damage you've recently taken.
Jarvan doesn't really like to stay in the fight as well. Sorry, I'm kind of ranting about like Eclipse right now. I think Eclipse just doesn't make any sense on the champion. I think this is way less of Eclipse, or like Eclipse doesn't fit in with the rest of the build than it is like it's just not a very good Jarvan item. He doesn't stick into a fight. He doesn't have a very good in-out playstyle. He could do like a REQ out and then maybe go back in with another Q or something like that. I just like, I don't think this champion works well with the flexibility of the playstyle that Eclipse gives. I don't think I'm saying that very well. Maybe I'll have to make like a separate talk about it or something and like organize my thoughts, but I don't think the item's good on certain champs.
And even Sundered Sky's passive that restores health on attacks contribute to buying more time for you as well, in order to get a kill to proc that Death Dance passive as well. So with this build, we receive a significant power spike at 3 items when we get our Sterix, and we receive a massive game-altering power spike at 4 items when we unlock that item synergy that completely counters the enemy comp that we're playing against. This is the mistake that Jarvan did with his build here. Individually, all of these items are incredible on Jarvan, but together they don't make any sense because they don't contribute to the same core item build. Buying a first item Eclipse here, an item that gives no bonus health, is the bruiser equivalent of buying a Youmuu's Ghostblade first item on a crit ADC. It just doesn't make sense because it only delays the power spike of your core items being completed.
Listen, Jin players, listen.
If you look into it, every archetype of champion in the game has a key item that is the center point of their core builds, as these items amplify the effects of all the other items around it. Some champions even have multiple choices for core item builds that you can change depending on the enemy team composition you're going against that game. A perfect example of this is Diana. Her bruiser build centers around this item, Riftmaker. Now, Riftmaker has a passive that gives you ability power based on your bonus health that you've built. When it comes time to build a Sheen item on Diana, there are two choices. There's either Lichbane or there's Dusk and Dawn. Now, obviously, if we're doing the Bruiser build, we're going to have to go with Dusk and Dawn because it's the only one of the two that gives health, and that slots into that core item build. Then we probably want to build some more health. A common one is Liandry's. We'll come back to that in a moment. And eventually...
I think Liandry's has always been a bit of a weird item on Diana. I think when the item just had more stats on it, maybe it made a bit more sense, but I don't think she gets a ton of value out of the burn, just personally. I think if you're going Bruiser Diana, sustainability is going to be what you're going to get the most value out of. Just getting another rotation of spells is going to be way more valuable than, I don't know, getting off a Liandry's burn on a few people one time.
That'll get your Riftmaker working because you'll have enough bonus health to convert into AP, but it's the second Void Corruption passive that we care about here. This build is generally good against enemy team comps that are very tanky, and that lack damage because inherently tanky team comps generally lack damage. The Rift...
I mean, tanks are broken. Tanks will one-shot you.
Riftmaker passive when fully stacked gives you Omnivamp. In this build on Diana, you...
Bronze, by the way. Me.
Also go Conqueror, which also gives you Omnivamp. And then you pair that with the item Liandry's, which does % max health to enemies, and against a tanky comp who are building a lot of health, this is going to do very well. So this is when the synergies start to go nuts. We first have health synergies, scaling up the stat of this, then we have a synergy against the enemy team comp. They're tanky, and so we're building the % magic damage item of this, but that is actually fully stacking our Riftmaker very quickly with damage over time effect that gives us Omnivamp on both the Riftmaker fully stacked.
That's interesting. I actually didn't think about that. That's a good point. I mean, that's such an obvious interaction. I didn't think about it before. If you tag someone with Q and you have Liandry's on them, you get your Rushmaker stacks because you'll be in combat. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. Is there no other way you could do that? Like the Scorch keep you in combat or something? You could just take Scorch or something on the Diana and then you'll be fine. I guess you want to take like Conqueror and Inspiration. Do you really need the Liandry's to do this? I don't know.
And the Conqueror fully stacked, that's giving us healing spread across that % health damage across the whole enemy team, which makes this a real power spike. This builds out a core item build that means at 3 items, we hit a massive spike as we're getting synergies throughout all of these different items. Now, Diana's other option for a core item build is what she plays into squishy enemy teams, and that's the full AP burst assassin centered around Deathcap and Magic Pen. It makes more sense in this build to take Lichbane as opposed to Dusk and Dawn, since Lichbane gives more AP, which contributes more AP to Deathcap's passive, but the AP scaling of Lichbane's Sheen passive is actually 4 times higher than the AP scaling of Dusk and Dawn's, which means it's going to be much more affected by a Deathcap build, which gives you tons of AP.
Yes, that's a big thing I've actually noticed as well. A lot of people will take, compare Lichbane and Dusk and Dawn by building it first and kind of seeing which one feels better. They're both based off your base AD, and then they scale with AP. So you're on one item, and you've got a little bit more AP on you're only got 38 more AP on the Lichbane, and you have 30% more ratio, so you get a little bit more damage on the passive, but you get the double proc and you get the healing from the Dusk and Dawn. So people just kind of think that Dusk and Dawn is just better in a lot more scenarios where it actually is, where it's like the Lichbane damage, especially if you're going Deathcap later on, is going to outscale the Dusk and Dawn damage by quite a bit if you're, depending on your champion, especially something like Diana. It can be a little bit different for other champs who are getting a lot of value off the double hit, but for Diana, like, if you can just stack your passive on something else and then go in with your passive and your Lichbane, you don't actually need the double proc. It really is for sustained fighting, the Dusk and Dawn.
So by putting a little bit of thought about which item is the core of your build and how other items synergize with it, you can usually come to an
I think it was that Echo player that was trying to one-shot people with Dusk and Dawn or something, and that turned into a whole mess. But it's like, yeah, this item's not for one-shotting people.
Educated conclusion about what to build. But quickly, on the subject of assassin builds, we've got to talk about these 2 core item builds in particular. Since the key to fixing this first item Eclipse build on Jarvan can be found by just understanding how these stats interact with one another. The important thing to know here is that the game calculates percentage pen before it calculates flat pen, which massively benefits mages and assassins who build both flat pen and percentage pen in the same build. Imagine you have these items and you attack an enemy with 100 armor. The game will first apply your 30% armor penetration, in this case reducing their armor by 30. It will then apply the lethality that you have on top of this once this is calculated, reducing their armor by another 36. For this reason, combining percentage pen with flat pen causes you to cut through massive amounts of enemy resistances, meaning that for burst mages and assassin, percentage penetration items are actually at the core of your build. You first build a foundation of flat pen, and then you combine that with the percentage pen to start doing the really big damage at your core spike. When you think about this, you can start to understand certain champion-specific decisions with itemizations. For example, why does Aphelios commonly build Collector when other crit ADCs just like him build something else first item? Well, Aphelios doesn't have an E ability. Instead, Aphelios gains lethality when he puts points into his E. This lethality gets stacked with even more lethality he gains from the item Collector, giving him a huge item power spike once he finishes the percent pen and combines it with all that lethality. And since Collector also has crit in the build path, it's a great way for him to itemize both lethality and crit from the same item, putting him on the path to a core item power spike with both Infinity Edge that gives him crit and a percentage penetration item at the same time now that he's built up a good foundation of lethality. Once you realize that Aphelios gets to benefit...
Are Aphelios building Collector right now? I thought pretty much everyone was going Hex Optics. Hold on. I guess this video is like 2 months old, actually. Might even be before Hex Optics. I wonder if they're just replaced now. Hex Optics on Aphelios, though, might be a little bit weird because of White Guns a lot of your damage. Hold on. I just want to look at this for a second. So people are going Hex Optics right now, just permanently on Aphelios. What about his other first items? Are there people still building Collector? Yeah, so it is interesting. There are some people building Collector. Highest win rate. I'm looking at Lowlytics Global Emerald Plus, by the way. So we have highest win rate on Aphelios right now. Looks like what says this is highest win rate build is with Hex Optics when you look at the overall build. But when I'm looking at first item, it looks like Stormrazor has the highest individual win rate first item. But this is just my general opinion. I think for a lot of AD carries, I think this is true for like Sivir and Xayah. If you can get a BF Sword base, usually you have a BF Sword item that's better than whatever your Hex Optics or your Collector as a power spike. This is just my general opinion. I think Stormrazor and especially Yuntal is not on Aphelios. I don't think Yuntal is that great on Aphelios. But you think about champions like Ashe and Sivir, the stat line on this item is just like kind of ludicrous. Like you'll get your crit from it, but you also get, so this gives 55 AD, this gives 50 AD, this gives 50 AD. So you get this pretty much the same AD for this item. You get a ton of attack speed. 40, you're training whatever, 5 AD or 10 lethality for 40% attack speed. And then you also just have one of the best passives out of any of these if you're an AD carry that cares about attack speed. So it's like, I just think these BF Sword items just tend to be better if you have the luxury of purchasing them. That being said, I just think Collector really got popular on Aphelios for lack of better option. Like, he just didn't have another item to go first. I don't think he actually wants to build this item. Was this item out during Mythics? I think if this item was out during Mythics, I don't think he was building it. I think he was building, like, Shield Bow and stuff. So I don't know. I don't think this is actually a good item for Aphelios. I think he kind of builds it when the champions or when the items are in a bad spot for him.
From doing 2 core item builds at the exact same time, you start to realize there's no wonder this champion is such a late game power spike once he gets both of these core item builds going.
I don't really think it makes that much of a difference. Like, again, the 10 lethality, it does scale your armor pen a little bit once you get the LDR, but I think there's just higher value first items. Like I said, Hex Optics just giving 10% damage on your autos a lot of the time. It's pretty crazy.
But this isn't an Aphelios exclusive thing.
Like
Rumble's
I said,
E, for example.
I know that this video probably came out before Hex Optics, but I just think that Collector's weird. I think sorry, I'll try to be more specific. I think the synergy with Armor Pen on Collector, when it's your only flat pen item, the synergy between that and the percentage pen that you're getting and Aphelios passive is very minimal, and is not valid reason for why this item is actually good on the champion.
Removes magic resist for an enemy when he hits them with it. So stacking flat pen into the percentage pen on Rumble goes crazy. You first remove magic resist with your E, then you apply flat pen, and you can reduce an enemy's magic resist to very little to even sometimes 0.
Yeah, this is
the
true.
same build can be done with Jarvan's cube since it reduces armor. This percentage armor reduction combines with huge amounts of lethality that he's built and begins causing him to deal a ton of damage. So if you want to make the item Eclipse work on Jarvan,
well, this is kind of true. Jarvan's just a weird champion. Like, when you EQ into somebody, like, that's pretty much your damage. So, I don't know how the interaction works on Jarvan Q. Maybe it shreds the pen and then does its damage. If that's how it works, it's fine. But then you're really getting the damage on, like, some autos, or, like, your passive and your R, if it doesn't. So, I don't know the interaction, but maybe he does. It doesn't sound like it's for sure good.
Just do it with this build. Eclipse does damage that increases based on the enemy's max health. You generally want to build a ton of armor pen against a tanky champion anyway, so it also makes sense to be buying the percent max health damage item at the same time.
It's 6% like every 6 seconds. I think for Jarvan, you're building this to deal with, to have like a shield, or for like an early game spike, much more than you're building this for the percent max health damage to get it through tanks. You're just never, ever, ever, ever killing an actual tank with Jarvan.
And then to have the percent max health physical damage from that item to be amplified by the percentage pen from your Q, your items, and the lethality from the rest of your build. There are many, many other champions in the game that can benefit in unique ways like this for their core item builds. To give you some inspiration for the endless possibilities that this holds, here's a graphic that shows all of the items I could think of that you will generally find at the center of a core item build.
Just to go back to that real quick. We're talking 6% pre-mitigation damage. So you're not getting more than 6% damage for building armor pen on Jarvan for this item. You're getting, I know he doesn't say it exactly like that, but it kind of sounds like it the way he's saying it. You're not getting more than 6% max health damage if you build armor pen. You're getting at most 6% bonus physical damage.
There are many, many other
I just wanted to like clarify the point. I don't think he's necessarily saying anything wrong there.
Champions in the game that can benefit in unique ways like this for their core item builds. To give you some inspiration for the endless possibilities that this holds, here's a graphic that shows all of the items I could think of that you will generally find at the center of a core item build. There's a lot of them, and you're almost guaranteed to be building at least one of these items every single game. That is kind of the point I'm trying to make with this video after all, right? So think about your champion, think about which of these items you buy, and then go read up on exactly what the item does, and specifically, what stats does the item scale off of. And hopefully, with a little bit of extra thought, you'll be able to come to a more educated decision about what item is at the core of your build.
This is certainly one way of looking at items. Maybe it makes things simpler for players, but it just doesn't, I think it doesn't work for me. And I think a lot of these items, it sounds weird to call them core items. Like, I'm looking at all the percentage pen items, and especially, again, nowadays, where I think there's more viable crit options that you can build on AD carries, I think it's weird to call percentage pen items core items. Because you're not in a rush to build these items every single game. Like, generally, you're going to build them third, but, you know, there's plenty of assassins that aren't going to care about buying Cyrildas up to a point, and that might be, like, third or fourth or later item. I think Rengar, when Natty Nat was building it, I think in the Lil Dobby video, he was building LDR like fourth item or something like this. It's like percentage pen isn't part of his core build. It's something you get specifically to deal with armor, and it's good a lot of the time because base armors get high enough where it's hard for flat pen items to keep up in value with the percentage pen items, especially with, like you said, how the interaction works. But I wouldn't consider them core items. There's items that you build a lot in every game because they're good. They're good items in most situations. But maybe it's just different in the framework that he's trying to set here. I don't know. I think yeah, it's just a weird idea of core items. And who's Thornmail a core item on except like a Rammus, you know? It's pretty overbuilt item, but it's grievous wounds. I mean, you're building this specifically for the purpose of reducing healing. So a lot of these items are, I think, very strange to call core items. I think like core items to me are champion like essential items. When like Monomoon, like these are pretty much like essential items on champions like Ezreal or Corki. So, or Infinity Edge, like you said, on crit 80 carries. I think a lot of these other ones are like, I'm not considering essential items. Like a lot of times you'll see, you know, even on Jarvan, people will forego Sterix. I think it's a pretty broken item and you probably shouldn't forego Sterix on Jarvan, but, you know, a lot of times you'll see just like, you know, whatever, Sundered Sky into Cleaver into GA, especially in pro games. So I don't always agree with the framing here.
Specifically, you should buy to best complement it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you learned something, it may be worth going to check out those guides I mentioned earlier over at coachrogue.com. Otherwise, thanks for watching, have a great one.
Yeah, I'm curious what he puts in his guides. Yeah, that was interesting. I wonder if that really helped people for figuring out what to build. Because for me, it's just kind of like confuses the issue, I guess. I think there's some really good videos that he's put out. This was not one of the ones I was more fond of. It was pretty good. I think probably one of the better parts of it was just when he was talking about item traps. About, you know, like when he was talking about, you know, you're not really getting a lot of value out of, you know, your Death Stance here or your Eclipse here because you have them, you know, in this weird build with the Cleaver, and I thought that was good to point out. But I'm not really loving the rest. Never thought about this in terms of power spiking. Interesting. Oh, whatever. I'll give it a rest. I probably won't post that because I didn't think it was very interesting. And I don't think I had a lot interesting to say on it, and I was kind of fumbling my words around even more than usual. I think we'll call it here and then pick up again later.